Hello, everyone, and welcome to another lesson in modernizing old hymns. Today I'm going to look especially at the hymn titled O Come, Emmanuel. Now, the arrangement that the hymnals use, uh, it's written in D minor. Now, the chording they use tends to be the same chords you would expect in D Dorian. So today I'd kind of like to look at the difference between D Dorian and D minor, in the old days called D Aeolian. And if that sounds complicated, I'm actually going to use what I know about these scales to make the hymn even easier. Now, in the book I printed out, I uh, arranged it for instruments that may only play in the key of C, such as the kalimba. Now I came up with a different solution there. You can see I suggested some substitute notes there. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to skip that pesky note altogether instead of playing the B note here or the D note. I'm just going to play the G double long. Okay. Same thing on this line. Play the G double long. And even here at E note and down in the last line too, I'm just going to play a double long G there as well. And it actually helps to give the song a rhythm. Okay, so here's the easy Dorian version of the song. This should also be playable on an autoharp as well. I play this on this instrument using just 3 chords. Now, for those of you who play the kalimba and aren't familiar with how to play chords, it's really quite easy. For the D minor chord, start on the D key and play the next 2 keys above that too. You can play all 3 of those at once. And then there's the C chord, same technique, 2 keys above that. And there's also an F chord in there. Start on the F key. There's your F chord. You can see there's also a G chord marked on here for the kalimba version. I'm not going to use that chord. I'll just play that D note by itself. Okay, let me see if I can play this here and keep from moving things so you can see what's happening. Okay, now let me give you some tips for playing this on the guitar. First of all, let's explore that difference between Dorian and minor. You can download some sheet music. I've got it in the description down below. And you'll find a D Dorian and a D minor version of this both. Let me just sing through this first so you can hear those chords better. And in D Dorian, the two main chords are going to be D minor and C. And there's a couple measures where it goes off into the key of C. But in the D minor version, the two main chords are going to be D minor and G minor. Now, I know a lot of guitar books, the last chord they teach you is D minor, but if you want to play modal music, D minor is pretty much an essential chord for you. And it's really not that hard to play. I'll give you some more tips on that later too. Okay, now, if you look in most guitar books, guitar chord charts, they'll show you G minor as a bar chord. You take the E minor chord and move that up to the 3rd fret, barred at the 3rd fret. There's easier ways to play the G minor chord. What you can do is bar the first 3 strings at the 3rd fret and play the first 4 strings. That's a G minor with a D bass, and since the D note is a part of the G minor chord, it doesn't sound bad. Even easier, and if you want to try to combine the melody with the chord, this is pretty much what you have to do. Just bar the first 2 strings. Play the first 4 strings. You'll see in the Dorian version that there's a G melody note in there. Yeah, and that's the way to play it there, the easiest way. Okay, so just singing along here. Here's the D Dorian version, 2 main chords, D and C. Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Now the D minor version, 2 main chords are going to be D minor and G minor. I'll play that 3-string version I showed you before. O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. So there you pick which one you like best, D Dorian or D minor. Let me move on to some instrumental solos here. Now, that problem with the D minor chord, another way you can play the D minor chord, if you already know how to play the F with the two strings barred there, add your little finger to the second string, third fret, and that's a type of D minor chord. To in order to work the melody in here, as you've seen me do in the past, I'm going to have to pick up fingers and add fingers. At the beginning of the song, I'll have to start in this position, the F with that extra note added, and I'm going to have to pick up my ring finger. The first few notes go, put it back down again. Okay. And then in the second full measure of the first line, you see I need to play an A note on a C chord. I'm just going to move my middle finger over one string. And after that comes that D minor chord with an F note in the melody. So that F chord with the extra string works there. Then after that comes a G string. So pick up the middle finger. Okay. Second full measure of the second line. There's a G on the C chord, and I have to add a D note. I'll just pick up my middle finger. First full measure of the third line. There's a D minor chord, but I have to play an E on it. I'm just going to move my middle finger over one string in the other direction this time. Okay, then at the end of the third line, going into the next line, I have to add an F to a C chord. I'm just going to take my little finger and put it just below my ring finger there. Okay, anything else? Yes, end of the fourth line, going into the fifth line. Have that F with the added finger down there. Then pick up your little finger to play the C. And then right away it goes to the F chord. Okay, I think that covers pretty much all the tricks there. Let me play it through here. Now, in the music, with the link down below. I've also got a version in A Dorian. Again, my trick for playing instrument solos on the guitar are to raise the pitch. That makes it easier to get those lower bass strings worked in there and some more counter melody strings as well. So let me just get started here. I'll play the A Dorian version. My voice is low, so I'm going to sing an octave lower. Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. I'm having fun with it, but let's face it, it's a little low. So I'm going to capo it. When I capo, I usually capo on the 3rd fret. Why the 3rd fret? Capoing on the 3rd fret tends to put the song in a key that you normally wouldn't play on the guitar, and it adds variety. So here, instead of playing in A minor, I'm going to be raising it up to the 3rd fret, and I'll be playing in C minor. C minor is a key that has 3 flats in it. Chances are you're not going to play it on your guitar otherwise. So let me sing along a little bit here. Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. You can experiment with that yourself for a little while. And again, one of my favorite ways of making instrumental on the guitar is to raise the pitch a little bit so you get to use more strings. This is what it'll sound like strumming up to the melody note. And this is what it sounds like with a 3-finger pick. There's some easy ideas for you to work this song up for church. And I also hope you learned some of the differences between minor key, what we commonly call minor key, and what's also called Dorian. In the old days, what we call minor now used to be called Aeolian to distinguish it from Dorian. So hope you have time to work this up, and thank you for watching.